Good morning, class. Today I am going to teach the first lesson, A Vine on a House. Students, do you believe in ghosts and spirits? Do you like ghost stories? Now we are going to read an interesting story about a mysterious vine written by Ambrose Bierce, a famous American writer. About 3 miles from the little town of Norton in Missouri stands an old house that was occupied by a family named Hardy. Since 1886, no one has lived in it, nor is anyone likely to live in it again. Time and neglect have converted it into a rather picturesque ruin, which has got it listed into the category of haunted houses. Its windows are without glass, its doorways without doors, and there are wide breaches in the roof. Lack of painting and long neglect have turned the walls a depressing grey. There is plenty of greenery around, and a large vine overruns the entire structure. This vine, of a species which no botanist has ever been able to identify, plays an important part in this story. Now let us see what is mentioned in this first paragraph. An old house was there in Missouri, which was 3 miles away from the little town named Norton. This house was last occupied by a family named Hardy. No one has lived in it since 1886, and nobody wanted to live in it. The house has become like a picturesque, that is, a picture of not giving proper care and attention. So, it has listed into the category of haunted houses or ghost houses. This house was there without doors and windows, and the walls of the house turned into a depressing grey, which made someone feel sad. There was a plenty of greenery around the house. A large vine was spread over the entire house. This vine was totally different of a species of which the person who is expert on plants had ever been able to identify this type of vine. In this lesson, this vine plays an important role in the story of the house. The Harding family consisted of Robert Harding, his wife Matilda, Miss Julia Went, who was her sister, and 2 young children. Robert Harding, about 40 years old, was a silent rude man who never got along with any of the neighbors. He had no friends in the neighborhood, and others too had no desire to go out of their way to befriend him. He was frugal and hardworking. He had a living from the little farm, which is now overgrown with the bushes and wild grass. He and his sister-in-law were boycotted by their neighbors, for these two were seen too frequently together, and the moral code of the rural Missouri is stern and exciting. Now let us see what is mentioned in this paragraph. Here in this paragraph they have mentioned about the Harding family. Now let us see how many members were there in the Harding family. This family consisted of Robert Harding, his wife Matilda, Miss Julia Went, who was Matilda's sister, and 2 young children. Robert Harding was about 40 years old. He was a silent, rude man. He never mixed up with any of the neighbors. He had no friends in the neighborhood, and nobody wanted to become his friend too. He was hardworking but led very simple life. He never spent too much money. He led his life like a farmer, and he had a little farm which is now overgrown with bushes and wild grass. He and his sister-in-law were avoided by their neighbors. This is the reason why they were seen frequently together, and the moral code of the rural Missouri is stern and tough. Mrs. Harding was a gentle, sad-eyed woman who had no left foot. Now, what is saying about Mrs. Harding? Mrs. Harding, she was a very gentle woman, and she was always very sad, and she was not known by anyone there. And one more thing, children, she had no left foot too. Sometimes in 1884, it became known that she had gone to visit her mother in Iowa but had never returned. After 2 years, without selling his farm or his other possessions, Harding, along with the others in the family, left the country. Nobody knew where he had gone, and since he had been so unfriendly, nobody even cared to find out. Whatever objects in the house could be moved soon disappeared, and deserted house became haunted. Now, sometimes in 1884, it came to know that Mrs. Matilda, he didn't visit her mother in Iowa, but had never returned. After 2 years, what happened? Mr. Harding, along with the others in the family, left the country without selling his farm and possessions. That means whatever they had belonged to, that they left all the possessions, and nobody cared to find them because he was unfriendly with others. So the neighbors were not cared to find out them. The objects in the house were disappeared soon, and the abandoned house, that is the left house, became a ghost house. Now, one summer evening, 4 or 5 years later, Reverend J. Gruber and Mr. Hyatt, an attorney, met on horseback in front of the Harding place. Having business matters to discuss, they decided to sit on the porch and talk. Jokingly, they mentioned that the house was haunted and whether it was wise of them to sit there. However, this was soon forgotten as the two grew engrossed in the business discussion. It was getting dark. The evening was very warm and the air stagnant. Now, after 4 or 5 years, in one summer evening, Reverend J. Gruber and Mr. Hyatt, who was an attorney means he was a lawyer, met at the Harding place, and they sat on the entrance of the house. They sat on the porch of the house to discuss about their business matters. And they were so indulged in the discussion, and they forgot about the time passed by. So, what they did, the evening was very warm and the air was very unpleasant. All of a sudden, both the men were startled. They got up from their seats in surprise. A long vine that covered half the front of the house and dangled its branches from the edge of the porch above them was visibly and audibly agitated, shaking violently in every stem and leaf. Now, after some time, what happened to them? Let us see. All of a sudden, both the men were shocked. Why they shocked? Let us see. They got up from their seats. They saw a large vine, a long vine, which was covered the half portion of the house, and it was hanged so as to swing freely from the edge of the porch. It was seen disturbed visibly and audibly by shaking its stem and leaf violently. We shall have a storm, he had exclaimed. By seeing this, what he had said, he had said that they would have a storm then. Grubber said nothing, but silently pointed at the branches of the other trees around which showed no movement. In great haste, they stepped down the porch to the area that was once a lawn and looked upward towards the vine, whose entire length was now visible. It continued. The vine continued to shake violently, though they could find no cause of disturbance. Now, what Grubber said, Grubber told them to leave that place, but Grubber showed other branches of the trees which showed no movement. Then they stepped down the porch urgently. While going, they looked at the vine. They saw the entire length of the vine, and the vine was continuously shaking violently. Now, let us leave, said the minister, and both of them left that very instant. They rode back to the town together. They related their strange experience to several friends. The next evening, at about the same hour, accompanied by two other friends, they rode back and were again on the porch of the Harding's house. The strange and mysterious phenomenon occurred again, exactly as it had the previous day. Together, the four men held the trunk of the vine with all their combined force, but the vine continued its violent shaking. The four men observed and discussed for an hour and left as confused as before. So, both of them left that place and told all these stories about the mysterious vine, that it was visibly and audibly shaking its stem and the leaf violently. All these stories they have told to their other friends, and they came again at the same with their two friends in the evening. They sat on the porch. They saw the same thing, that the vine was shaking its stem and leaf. The four people hold the trunk of the vine with their full effort, but the vine continued its shaking, and the four men got confused and left the place. So the four men observed and discussed about this mysterious vine, and after an hour they left because of confusion. Okay. In no time, the entire neighborhood came to know about it. By day and by night, crowds gathered at the Harding house in order to solve the mystery. Finally, it was decided that vine would be dug up. So, what is there in this paragraph? Let us see, children. In no time, the entire neighborhood, the whole neighborhood who were staying near to that house came to know about the strange matter of the mysterious vine, and they have gathered at the Harding's house in order to solve the secrecy. Finally, what they have decided, they have decided to dug up the vine. So, nothing was found but the root, yet nothing could have been stranger. The root ran 5 or 6 feet down, single and straight, and subdivided into rootlets. Most curiously, they were interwoven. When carefully freed from soil, they showed the singular formation resembling a human figure. Head, trunk, and limbs were there. Even the fingers and toes were distinctly defined. The figure lay horizontal over the loose earth. The gathering was shocked when they discovered that the figure's left foot was missing. Now, in no time, the entire neighborhood came to know about the strange matter, and they have gathered there, and they could see the root which was 5 or 6 feet down, single and straight, and subdivided into rootlets, and they were woven together, they were weaved together. When they freed some soil, they showed singular formation of resembling human figure. It had head, trunk and limbs with fingers and toes. They laid the figure over the earth. The crowd got shocked when they noticed that the figure's left foot was missing. Now, everyone could easily figure out who was it. After a great deal of discussion, the matter was decided by the sheriff of the country, who was the lawful custodian of the abandoned estate, ordered the vine to be uprooted. A fresh vine was planted in its place. Now, after recognizing the figure, what they have decided is that after a great deal of discussion, the sheriff means who is an officer who is responsible for keeping law and order. He had ordered the people to uproot the vine, and a fresh vine was planted in its place. Now later, inquiry revealed that Mrs. Harding had never visited her relatives in Iowa, nor was she expected by them. Of Robert Harding and the rest of his family, nothing is known. The house is still known as the haunted house, but the new vine is well behaved and does not frighten people with its violent agitation. Children, finally, let us see the last paragraph. What is it mentioned in this paragraph? Let us read. Later, it was revealed that Mrs. Harding, he never visited her relatives in Iowa, and Robert Harding and the rest of the family, they were not known by anyone, and this is still known, and the house is still known as the haunted house. And the new vine, it behaved very properly, and it never frightened the people with its violent agitation. Thank you, children. Thank you, and have a nice day.